Hello, this message is for someone who's really caught up in something right now. Caught up, obsessed almost, okay? You're caught up mentally and emotionally in something. If this message is for you, it's not something you should technically be so caught up in. So there's an element of possible guilt. And if this message is for you, it's almost like to use a guilty pleasure. That's what it is. So it's something you identify as both good and bad. So the root of the issue is that it makes you feel some kind of divided emotion. You get two different currents of feeling about this thing you're so caught up on. It's like you have a stream of positivity where it's all good feelings, and you love this thing, and this thing makes you happy, and you get really excited about it, and it gives you like zest for life. But on the other hand, your way of looking at it and yourself as a result of being so caught up in it makes you look at yourself with such a judgmental eye that you end up feeling a lot of negative emotion about it as well. But it's not so much about it. It is about it that you feel the negative emotion, but mostly it's about you being into it for some reason, okay? So what I'm getting here is, if this message is for you, you're extremely caught up in something and kind of obsessed with it because it's like maybe the thing that brings you the most happiness and joy in life right now, but you don't feel 100% good about it. You are somehow ashamed or feel guilty about being so into this, liking it so much, and it being such a source of joy for you. You think it makes you, it's like you look down on yourself for it. So you make self-deprecating comments is what I'm getting. You'll say, you know, it's like if whenever anyone becomes aware that you are engaging in this and that you're so into it, first of all, you try to hide how into it you are. But whenever anyone notices that you're into it at all, you try to downplay it and you say some sort of shitty things about it to kind of, I guess, distance your image from the reality of being the person that you are who is into it. So there's this shame that you have about being so into this thing you're into that you are so obsessed and caught up with. Because what I'm getting here is that if this message is for you, it could be that the element of guilty pleasure is playing into this obsession, is making you more obsessed, because there's some kind of extra thrill you get out of it being a semi naughty thing to do somehow, like something you shouldn't be doing, or you tell yourself you shouldn't be doing. Maybe it's fine. This could be as simple as maybe you're into a hobby or you watch a show or something that you're not like totally proud of. Maybe you're one of those people that are like, so I watch The Real Housewives, but I hate myself for it, you know? So if whatever it is, you have recently, though, become extra into it. It's like giving you life right now, okay? But there's such shame connected to it for you that you're not letting yourself embrace it and follow wherever it's leading you to, okay? Because whenever we feel joy like that from something, it's usually trying to lead us to something. So, you know, this is happening in your life, so you do that. So you follow that lead of what about, you know, you need to look at what about this is so cool to me, and it's like checking all the boxes for me, right? And so it's not just a guilty pleasure, it's sort of a map to who you are. You're just not willing right now to look at yourself without being judgmental, I guess, you know? Let's use this Real Housewives example, because I used to watch Real Housewives many years ago. I watched the, what was it, Beverly Hills one? And the New York one. I only watched a couple of seasons of each when I wasn't living in the United States. So I was kind of like, I had to face, that exactly. Like, I liked that they're American because I had lived here before and I kind of missed it. And I had been living in Spain for a while. So I liked seeing that. I also liked, their fabulous fashion and lifestyles. I guess the point of shame for me in that, in my relatable story and to this message, is that because I was a bit ashamed. I don't think I would shit on it openly like that, because I don't hate myself like that. But I would, it was the toxicity of the show, right? Because they fight a lot and they're always in this toxic dynamics with each other. So that, there was also a message in that, though I was entertaining too much of that in my personal life, where I was tolerating too much of that. And I was started taking the good with the bad in certain relationships and being like, well, if it comes with a bunch of this unpleasant thing, it's just kind of what you have to go through to get the good parts, right? And so I was doing the same with my entertainment, where I was like, well, I like these ladies for all these reasons, but I guess this is just part of it. As I evolved into a different frequency, I no longer resonated with these shows, but at the time, that's what they were trying to show me, right? And through my emotional reaction to them, okay? So that's what you're going through right now. And it could be a show, but it could be also some kind of hobby, something that you get really excited about and you're really into. But for some reason, yeah, you feel some kind of shame about it because you think there's something wrong with it, something that you don't want people to necessarily associate with you, right? Like, to go back to this housewives example that I personally experienced. Yeah, I wouldn't want people to think I'm some ratchet, rich woman, over entitled white pretty lady thing, like they are, that spends their whole life divaing around, And so that touched a scary nerve for me that I didn't want to obviously embrace, So there was a lesson for me in there, though, of like, and it was what I explained previously about me tolerating that in my own personal relationships, okay? So there's a similar message for you in whatever is cringing you out and about this thing you're into, okay? So whatever, you have to sort of just look at it. And this is also a lesson in self-acceptance, right? Like, you have to look at it. How does this serve me that makes me happy? What about these things are igniting something in me, and what is so good about it, and make peace with that and embrace it and follow it. And then also look at what are the parts that are so cringe to me that I'm embarrassed to associate myself with this, and I will berate myself for being so into it, because there's also a powerful lesson of something personal to you that must relate to that. And everything in life is happening for us, so we learn and evolve. So this is just one more example of that. I hope that was helpful.